podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello, fuckers! My name's Ian Loring, and welcome to Film Bastards. We hope you're well. I've completely lost my flow there, because I don't usually open the show with hello, fuckers. As always, I'm joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
And Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, one and all. Coming up on this week's show, not the Suicide Squad, but Jungle Cruise. And also, we're making the retro review a regular thing. More detail on how we are picking that to come later on. But this week's retro review, because I was watching it on Netflix and I said we should review this, and Mark said, yeah, go on then, and Becky went along with it, is Wolfgang Petersen's In the Line of Fire, which in the UK at least is in 4K on Netflix. And it looks good.
It does.
It does. So, yeah, we're not doing the Suicide Squad this week. Have you two haven't seen it yet, have you?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Let's get Becky's thoughts on... No.
Becky's dialing in.
Becky's dialing in. So, right. Anyway, the reason... Fuck me. What a catastrophe of an opening. I'm so sorry.
It's still a little bit better than most of mine.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. So, the reason why we're not reviewing the Suicide Squad this week is because Mark and I are actually seeing each other in real life, along with Noel Mellor and Jordan McGrath this weekend. So, I'm guessing, actually, Jordan, Mark and I have already seen the Suicide Squad, but I think we're going to watch it again with Noel.
Yep.
I think it's the plan. Yep. Which is maybe a hint of what we thought of it, probably. I can't imagine I'd be that up for watching it again if I didn't like it. And Becky will be dialing in for that review as well. Yeah, so it's going to...
At the same time as we're going to watch it, aren't you, Bex?
Yes.
Nice. So, yeah, it's going to be a different one next week. It's been nearly 2 fucking years since The Last Bastards on the road.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. Like, I really, really, really don't like that it's been about 22 months since Jordan's wedding. That is fucking mental. Really, really don't like that. Time is a bastard. But yeah, next week should be a really, really chaotic show.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah. But you've had a chaotic introduction on this one so far. So we are a Pod Syndicate podcast, podsyndicate.com, for other like-minded, fine-feathered friends such as Chinstroker vs. Punter, his film Her Movie, Entertainment Landfill, the Iron Sequel, the Rewatch Project. I believe that is it. I never want to forget anyone, but I think that was it. And patreon.com/film bastards if you would like to help out the show by paying $2 a month and getting a weekly bonus show where we go through a series of films or a filmmaker or whatever. At the moment, we are doing the Bastards Get Sparkly, where I regret my choices as we tackle David Slade's third Twilight film. Well, not his third Twilight film, the third Twilight film, David Slade's Eclipse. Jesus fucking Christ, Ian. And yeah, and there's a Bond commentary series where Andrew Jones and I talked through Die Another Day. That is now up. The next one of those is going to be Mark and I talking Casino Royale, which we will do at some point in probably late August, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Sometime in the next year before the new Bond comes out that doesn't exist.
In the next 2 months.
Nah, it will happen.
Fucking will you? Stop it.
It won't.
All right.
The cursed film.
It's not the cursed film.
It is the cursed film.
So
It's a little bit the cursed film.
I mean, it is interesting though, isn't it? Because COVID kind of update for this week. Shit kind of seems, cases are pretty consistent, but the Delta surge has basically already happened over here. It's happening in the US at the moment, but mainly in places where people are unvaccinated. So, that's a bit of fucking Darwinism at play there almost. I mean, it's not really, but it's just affecting the dumb people who won't get the fucking vaccine. Some people can't get it because of like medical or religious reasons. Absolutely fair enough. But the people who are refusing to get it for silly reasons, fine. If they die off, no, I'm not going to say that. I was about to say a really horrible thing there, which would have been really harsh. But
I'll say it.
Go on.
That's not bad karma, I'll say.
That's exactly my point. But yeah, so yes, the Green Knight got pulled and that other film got pulled, but nothing else has happened this week, which is promising. We shall see how it goes, but I'm feeling, touch wood, fairly confident about cinema. I think through the rest of the year, shit would have to go really sideways for I think like November, December to be a problem at this point. And I think we will get Bond next month. Fucking hell, next month.
Is it next month? It's September.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like really late September.
Nice.
Like literally, I think September the 30th, but technically that is next month. So, in terms of movie news, have you got anything pressing there, Mark?
Pressing movie news? No, there's not been much. People are suing movie studios. So Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney. Emma Stone might be suing Disney. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is not suing Disney. Gavin Bautista thinks that Disney should have made Drax the movie rather than
I mean, I don't watch that.
rather than Black Widow, which he has now commented on and base said, look, it was a joke. It's been taken the wrong way. I am not getting involved in any of that shit. And Gerard Butler's suing, I don't know, somebody
Millennium
about
Films. Yeah.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah. It's
He's suing the producers of the first movie, but not the other ones, so he can keep doing them.
What's he suing them for?
He reckons he's down about like $10 million in like bonuses that were promised to him or something in it.
Yes.
I mean, that film was, I remember when that came out, it was like Olympus Has Fallen versus White House Down, and everyone was thinking White House Down was going to be the the one out of the two, and then Olympus Has Fallen completely fucking eats its lunch.
Yeah. I mean, the reason for that was Olympus Has Fallen was a lot of fun, and White House Down was so painfully long.
Who directed White House Down?
It's a random. Is it Roland Emmerich or?
It might be, I think it might be.
It is, but it's about 2 hours 20 minutes long or something like that. Maybe 2 hours 10. But it's just way too long.
I've seen White House Down a couple of times. I don't mind
Emmerich,
it.
yeah,
Right.
it is Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, fucking hell. It is way too long, but I mean, like, that's the thing. Olympus Has Fallen was just this like all low budget in comparison, down and dirty, fucking nasty little Anton Fuqua directed thing. Lest we forget that was directed by Anton Fuqua. And it packed a punch and it made money. But Millennium Films are a little bit kind of shifty, like who the fuck actually owns them, like who's actually bankrolled. It's one of those ones where they like film everywhere where life is cheap. And And,
Really is, yeah.
so yeah, I'm not surprised with that. Scarlett Johansson suing Disney, and then Disney coming out with maybe the least classy fucking statement to come out with a movie studio in a good long while.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
To be fair, in my defense of Disney, no, not in my defense of Disney, in my mind, if I worked for Disney and was basically charged with, right, put something out that just that is just so Disney business mind, it is untrue. That is the statement I put out. If you would have asked me before that statement came out, what are Disney going to say? That would have been it.
Just the whole, what was it, the callous disregard for the effects of the COVID pandemic. And it's like, motherfucker, you lot were doing everything you could to open up last fucking year. And, and just the fucking cheek of Disney to go, woe is us. We paid her $20 million. She's already had enough, hasn't she?
Disclosing her salary is a real classless act. It's just bad form.
It's some proper setting fire to fucking shit there. Because there's an oddity, and I'm going to be very careful with the way that I say this, but there's been a collection, a group of actors, so Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth will be the key ones that fall into that who have all become incredibly wealthy. Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson especially, because they have been, over the past 10 years, the highest paid actor and actress, and among the top, between them, consistently the top 3 or 4 highest paid actors on the planet. And that isn't because Scarlett Johansson did Under the Skin or Robert Downey Jr. did The Juror, or whatever it was he did. The Judge, that was the one. It isn't because of those, it's because of their involvement in that. So I'm very much playing devil's advocate on this. I can see why somebody at Disney's going, I mean, fucking come on. We've written a lot of checks for this person.
If they've breached their contract, though, they need.
No, absolutely. If they've breached their contract, that somebody done gone fucked up and hasn't cleared it. It's that.
Even Fake's pissed off about it, isn't he?
No?
Yeah. Like apparently, like.
Yeah.
They absolutely they should have crossed all those, but it's Disney. They just don't think they need to because they don't think someone's going to fucking call them out. And the thing is, they'll settle out of court for it for a decent chunk of money, and that's it. It's just a bit of a. I mean, there's a fair playness to Scarlett Johansson, but I see what Disney have tried to do. They've tried to go, look at this fucking greedy actress. Sure, they had 20 million quid. Look at all these people that lost their jobs. Yeah, you fucking fired them.
She's got to walk around with the stigma of being the lead in the lowest grossing Marvel movie ever.
That's bullshit because it was never it was never going to gross $1 billion anyway. And B, people, there is a caveat to that without question.
There is, but had they only released it in the cinema, it would have made more money. It absolutely fucking would.
It would have, but I would say it's interesting looking at how much more money Fast 9 has made than Black Widow. Like Fast 9 is well over $700 million worldwide now. I think Black Widow is still under 400, and like it's Premier Access and pirating, I think, can be to blame for a lot of that. But and also, I wouldn't necessarily say it's because it's a female-led Marvel film. It was just a film that was just not in the oven for too long, just like put on the side for too long. And it, like as to be fair, Mark had been saying before it came out, it was a film that just felt like it was several years too old before it even came out. It came out, people were, yeah, it's all right about it. Like, the reviews were, it's all right. You know, nobody was going out there saying this is one of the best Marvel films, blah blah blah. And it's, yeah, yes, it in a normal times, God, yes, it would have made more money. Of course, it would have made more money. But you look at the difference between Fast 7 and Black Widow in basically the same marketplace, other than Premier Access, and Fast 7 has made so much more money.
I think the issue with Black Widow as a character is she falls within that weirdness where she's too important and too popular, and Scarlett Johansson is too big a star, without question, for it to fall into the it should be it could have been a TV show. But having her be in and around so many of the individual films, like she's very much up into a character in, is it Winter Soldier?
Mm-hmm.
She's quite heavily in that. She's quite heavily in Civil War. I know a lot of them are heavily in Civil War, which is another one of Captain America ones, but she's very much attached to Captain America ones. Same as she's in, the Iron Man movies. So her exposure was already greater across those, that it always felt like she wasn't going to be because she was the glue that connected everything together. And then eventually they went, fuck it, we'll give her a movie though, because we've got a good idea. And it's like, right,
too late.
She's dead, mate.
Yeah.
The one thing I do feel sorry for Scarlett Johansson for is that obviously this was supposed to be the one that was supposed to be her massive payday. And you look at the amount of money that Robert Downey Jr. made, and that is honestly $20 million is fucking peanuts next to what Downey Jr. has made. And do I think Scarlett Johansson's impact on the MCU is as big as Robert Downey Jr.'s? No, but I could see why she'd be a bit fucked off going, I've essentially been on a promise for a number of years here, and now I'm kind of getting fucked over. And, the amount of money, it may as well be Monopoly money to us. Like, there's no way of me conceptualizing it, but the principle of it, you have to support her with that. I mean, if in her contract it didn't have anything, actually no, apparently they said in her contract this will get an exclusive theatrical release. It will. So they have to pay her out of that aspect, or release it in as an exclusive theatrical release. And yes, she's burning bridges here, but A, Disney are the big game in town. They're not the only game in town. And B,
I've already killed her off.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of other bits.
Exactly. And and B, in the end of the day, the big paydays for big stars are gonna be pretty much over now. Like, this whole points participation thing that they get, that shit is going to be fucking stopping soon, unless films start just getting big theatrical windows again, because there's nothing in it for them. They'll just be like, no, just pay me that shit up front, or stars won't be used to those kinds of salaries and they'll just be paid less, which is probably what will actually happen.
I mean, yeah, these points deals have gone on for 40, 50 years now. And they'll take a bit of a dip for the time being, because stars will be looking at going, well, I don't know about this. But then stars suing studios because of them again is nothing new. I'm fairly fucking certain that Jack Nicholson had to threaten to sue Warner about Batman, the 89 version, because they didn't pay in full.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not a nice situation for any. Just that reality Disney. If they thought that we are comfortable that we would win this, they wouldn't put out a statement just denigrating her character. Kinda, it is, saying you don't care if people get, which is, a to make. But that is the sign of a company who and have probably looked at it and gone, it's probably going to be an out of court thing, but we need to react now. I hope she takes them to the fucking cleaners.
It'll be one of those. It'll be out of court for an undisclosed amount.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll basically go, here's another 10 million, fuck off.
It's just, do the Wonder Woman 84 thing. They paid out the bonuses to Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, assuming that, basically on the bonuses they would have got if that film had made over $1 billion at the US box. Which, incidentally, they made out like fucking bandits, because I don't think that film would have done $1 billion in a normal marketplace once the fucking word on it got out.
No, literally, it's Wonder Woman 1984 again. It is another movie that time has forgotten. That movie is, 8-9 months old?
Yeah.
And nobody gives a shit.
No.
It already feels like it was released in 1984.
Yeah. Moving on, little bit of film festival news. The London Film Festival announced their opening night film today. It is going to be the Harder They Fall, the all-star western, which is a Netflix film, but it will be world premiering, it should be said, at LFF in early October. Comes out on Netflix in early November, but there will be simulcast cinema screenings in the UK for it as well. So you want to see The Harder They Fall on a big screen a month before it actually comes out on Netflix, you'll have your chance. So that's exciting.
Yeah, hopefully that's a little bit more of things to come for Netflix movies. For the the big hitters that Netflix are doing.
Yeah.
It's weird, like award season films are on their way. Annette comes out in cinemas early September, and then we're kind of off and away. It's that's exciting. And also, just to say, the Toronto International Film Festival Midnight Madness lineup came out today, and it includes past guest of the shows Rob Savage's new Blumhouse film, Dashcam, which 77-minute long film, which appears to be all dashcam recording. Sounds fucking ace. Go on then.
Yep, go on then. It's just innovative filmmaking again.
Yeah. Go on then. Apparently it's about some sort of social media influencer who's a dickhead and enters a waking nightmare.
Yeah, sold.
Yeah, I would like to see that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I think I mentioned last week that he'd tweeted something on a sound mixing stage. So just really, really up for that. So it's TIFF in the US. We don't know anything about a UK release or whether it's VOD or theatrical yet. But let's see how it goes. But the fact that it's actually got a Midnight Madness slot at TIFF is very, very, very promising as to the quality of it. So yeah, great stuff. Should we move on to trailers?
Very quickly, there was also the news yesterday that came out that Brendan Fraser has been cast in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yay!
Yep. And he's also going to be one of the leads in the guy who did Palm Springs, his new comedy.
Oh, is that Brothers?
Finally happening.
I think so, yeah. His new comedy, he's going to be one of the leads in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's. I was saying to yourself, Ian, that I hope that I really, really hope that he's got a scene in it with De Niro, because I remember seeing it with him years ago where he was talking about it, saying that he's like his dream is to be in a movie and in a scene with Robert De Niro. And I think it was while he was doing some of the promo work for one of the Looney Tunes movies he did, and he's a bit like, and he kind of turned around and looked back at like the set that was behind him and went, "Don't think it's gonna happen."
Oh man.
I do get the feeling with the Brendan Fraser thing, with everybody going, yeah. That it's kind of like a little bit like Hollywood has kind of gone, we did this guy dirty, let's fucking.
I really hope it's the start of like a thing and not like a blip.
Feeling it might be.
I really
Feels
hope.
like it is.
It does. It feels like it is. And apparently, literally, this casting was because of Scorsese seeing him in No Sudden Move.
Yeah.
And being like, God, he's perfect for what we need him for.
I really do. I really do hope it's a whole thing.
I think the fact that everybody seems to be going, this is awesome, about every single one that he gets cast in. Yeah, sorry, that was it. But yeah, trailers.
Banging. Yeah, no, that's great news. That, sorry, I had forgotten that. I know you wanted to talk about it. It's yeah, that's just such a cool comeback story. Really, really looking forward to seeing what he does with The Whale. I mean, I think that's probably going to be one of the most upsetting films you'll ever see, but I'm looking forward to watching it once and never again.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I would say I'm looking forward to having watched it and then never watching it again.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that film's going to be fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Just in a human way. So, trailers. My first question: have you guys seen the trailer for Kate?
Yes.
Is there going to be a reason why Mary Elizabeth Winstead is giving all her line readings in just the exact same tone?
No, that is just now Mary Elizabeth Winstead now.
That's a shame.
It is. She has gone from being spunky Mary Elizabeth Winstead when she first came out to just being just seeming like she's really tired all the time.
Yes.
It's odd. It's like she seems to be doing like film things because very much as a job rather than as like a calling, or because it's an art form. It is a 9 to fucking 5 for her.
It does seem like that, doesn't it?
She seems to hate it.
And honestly, like, even if we take that element out of the trailer, do we care? Do we need another movie like this? Really?
No.
I feel like we've had so many. Just fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I like the car with the neon light under it. You know, there's an ever so slightly cyberpunky kind of aesthetic to it, which I dig. And I like Woody Harrelson.
I like Woody Harrelson. I think Woody Harrelson is going to be in it for the sum total of less than 7 minutes.
Sure.
The thing about it is, like you just said there, Max, the problem is it seems to be like there's a list of actors that they pull out and go, right, we need to make another one of these movies. Right, so which actress hasn't done one yet?
No, it's not. It's more like there's all these different filmmakers going, John Wick, but with a girl, and all thinking that it's really original, and it's just fucking not at this point. We've had like 10 a year since John Wick came out.
I mean, there was one last week, and then this Kate comes out in a couple of weeks.
Just honestly, fuck off.
And there was that one with Jack Chastain like a couple of months ago.
Just make another John Wick movie.
They are.
Well, that's fine. Just leave it at that. I don't need John Wick, but with a girl.
I really like the fact that Halle Berry hasn't done one. She just went in. It was in John Wick's instead.
Yeah. Well, that's the fucking classy move, isn't it? Instead of trying to replicate the success, the lightning in a bottle that is John Wick, just be in the John Wick series. That is the classy move. Don't try and copy somebody else's fucking success.
I think what they are is they're like 60% John Wick, 40% Taken. And it was like they ran out of actors trying to have their Taken movie, because they all did it in the years just after Taken 2 and before Taken 3 and a little bit after it. There's a lot of them tried it. So there was
they all have a unique set of skills though.
Yeah, there was a Ewan McGregor one, there was a Sean Penn one. There was a lot of like low range actors tried doing it as well. And none of them kind of worked. But it is, I don't know. It's odd. The car thing. I want to know what the car thing is. Why it seems to be almost. It seems to be like it's sped up in comparison to everything else, which is quite anime about it. It's quite manga about it, and that element interests me. But the storyline doesn't.
No. And the Winsteadiness of it also doesn't.
I don't mind Mavis Winstead.
I just wish she looked like she was arsed.
Yeah, but then again, she's supposed to be dying in it. But then again, it does look like they've thrown every single trope that they can at it. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's interesting that apparently in the US it's getting a theatrical release as well as straight on Netflix, which gives it a bit more of a why are they bothering with that one in particular kind of aspect to it, which gives me some sort of weird faith. But yeah, it comes out in September. We'll probably review it and we'll see how it goes. Moving on from there, there's one big one that I can think of. What am I missing?
There's two big ones.
Oh, fuck, are there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit! Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Have we got any more before we get into them?
There's the new... well, there's a couple of things. There's a new Free Guy trailer that also has a little featurette thing within it.
Catchphrase!
That we saw in the cinema before Suicide Squad.
Oh, that was in the cinema, was it? Wow.
Yeah, we got in the cinema. Yeah, with the bonus character dude. I am. The more I'm hearing about Free Guy, because some early reviews are coming in, and they're all very, very, very positive. That this film is just a lot of fucking fun, and it's kind of exactly what people are going to need at the moment. I saw one review saying this movie is as much fun as Jungle Cruise wishes it was.
Oh wow!
which is not to get into what I'm going to say about Jungle Cruise later on, because I might not necessarily agree with that, but it's just I can agree with the sentiment.
I think this is one of those that is suffering from word about it has been around for so long now.
Oh yeah.
That once it actually gets here, it's obviously doing shit like this to make people care anew about it. And it's kind of worked. I was all in for this movie anyway, because I think it's a really interesting concept, like a non-player character just suddenly becoming sentient. I think that's a really great concept, but it has been around for a long time now. It's the Black Widow, James Bond, Free Guy kind of trifecta, isn't it?
Yeah, but I like the fact that literally that they have very much gone, nope, this is getting no Premier access. This is just going right out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like they've obviously got some faith in it. You know,
I think a big part of that is because I think that it's a little bit like they can go. It's because it's Fox, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the last big Fox one they've got left, Disney. So that if it bombs, they can go, well, it wasn't a real idea anyway. It was those dickheads. And so it's not really their money.
Yeah.
You know, they've literally kind of already paid for this, and it's already been signed off. Whatever they're making from this is just right. Well, this is just profit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, like the initial reaction does have me pretty excited, and I like that Taika Waititi is leaning into the I can be a bit of a dickhead with his character in the material that I've seen for it. I just remembered that my birthday double bill is going to be this and Don't Breathe 2.
You mean Don't Breathe 2, the weird looking art house movie?
Fucking. Oh God, I hope I can do Don't Breathe 2 then Free Guy.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that it might be a bit of a come down doing it the other way around.
Oh man. Yeah, absolutely.
Because the other way around, if Don't Breathe 2 is not great, you can go, whew, right, let's go and have fun for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas if Don't Breathe 2 is surprisingly good and is just as art housey and as a bit mental as it looks, then you might go into Free Guy going, do you know what? That was a lot of fucking fun. Come on then. Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, quite. There's a red band for Don't Breathe 2, by the way.
Yes.
Looks fucking like. So what is it?
But that is it. It's like it was made by somebody who hasn't seen the first.
I'm up for it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, how are they gonna fucking square that circle?
I love the fact that he's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's an anti-hero villain. An anti-villain hero, I think they said.
It's
like, what the fuck? None of that makes sense. But I want to see it.
There, aren't they?
It just... In the third act of Don't Breathe 1, he tries to impregnate Jane Levy with a baster. Like, you just... How?
And the thing is, with that movie, I was very much like, it's all right. And then the minute it got to that bit, I was like, oh, this just got a shitload more interesting. This is nasty.
I don't get how, unless you're just being nihilistic and completely fuck the world about it all, I don't know how you reposition him as any kind of sympathetic.
Oh, I really hope they don't. I hope it is just arseholes fighting an arsehole. For the soul of an arsehole.
Oh my god. Right, yeah. So I'm going to end off with the one I really want to end off with. So we've got the second trailer for Venom: Let There Be Carnage, which it's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying this looks like shit, just in terms of like the cinematography and whatnot, which is quite interesting. I mean, it looks murky, but it's shot by Robert Richardson.
Yep. Which means it's going to look fantastic.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know whether Serkis is just going for a mood here or something, which he probably is, you know. But yeah, I want the bizarre two things in the same buddy comedy mixed with horror elements that this is advertising. Yes, please.
Yeah. The thing is, the first trailer was very much going for, like they said, the buddy comedy thing. This one is going for a little bit more of showing you a little bit more of the action element of it. And it's a bit like, I've seen that a lot of things. It just looks like a lot of CG being thrown at itself. And it's like, well, yeah, it does. That's kind of what it is. But I'm really intrigued by this movie.
Yep.
You know, and we're, 5 weeks away from it?
Yeah, it comes out September, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, here, I didn't know that Tom Hardy wrote the story as well.
Yeah, he gets a story by credit. Yeah, apparently, like, it was his idea.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Okay. Yeah, But yeah, exactly. There's a big fuck it. Why? Do you know what? Why not? It's directed by Andy Serkis, shot by Robert Richards, written by Tom Hardy, and yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
You know what we should also where we should also go?
Where?
The House of Gucci.
Oh god, yes.
I think we all need to take a trip to the House of Gucci in November. I mean, this just looks like the most exquisite trash.
I think I said this to you, Ian. It looks like the sort of movie that Tony would be making now, and not as much Ridley. And that's kind of the reason why Ridley's made it.
Yeah.
You know, literally Ridley Scott in a 5-week period will have 2 big movies out. The Last Duel.
Ah.
I just love everything about this trailer. It looks overblown. It looks trashy. It looks like it's going to be really, really good looking. It's going to have some fucking amazing costumes in it. It's got Jared Leto doing whatever the fuck Jared Leto is doing in this.
It's got Lady Gaga saying the Father, the Son, and the House of Gucci. Iconic as fuck.
There is no way this film is boring.
Oh god, no.
It's just, is it gonna come together and really work, or is it gonna be an absolute like rubbernecking car crash?
Part of me that really hopes it's like Lifetime movie levels, but part of me that really hopes it's super polished as well, like no in between.
It's like I almost want it to be revealed that Paul Verhoeven was advising Ridley Scott, and we've got just this almost Showgirls level of let's just wallow to it. You know, I am so up for House of Gucci. I'm so up for it.
You know, it looks fun. The story behind it is actually really interesting. It's got a great cast. It's got a great trailer. Like, signs are good.
I love the fact that basically the studio as well, when asked, you know, what do the Gucci family think about it, and they've gone, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. And Gucci are actively trying to kind of shit all over it, with everyone going, no, you don't get to be Gucci and then complain about something else. That isn't how this works, dickheads.
Yep, absolutely.
It's as the bastard of trash. I will say yes, please.
Get in my eyeballs, please.
Without question, yeah. It's going to be. I think it's going to be one of those ones where a lot of people are going to fucking hate it, and then I'm going to come out and go, that might be the best film of the year.
So I was thinking about this the other day. Like we've got like gradually more and more lowbrow, I think, as the pandemic's gone on, and I just wonder whether when real life isn't quite so devastatingly tragic in all its forms, whether we'll go back to liking like art house movies and like really serious stuff again, or whether this is just it now.
I think it's kind of just it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy swimming around in the filth. It's lovely down here.
We've got a movie palette and we can't be saved.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah. It just, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting as well with like Ridley Scott, and just the fact that you've got a pre-pandemic film and an in-pandemic film within like the same 5-week period, as Mark said earlier on, but it does kind of feel like this weird slight changing of the tide where we are now starting to flush through the films that have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And what have we got coming for us after? House of Gucci. That's where we're at. And it's just, yes, I want to have fun. I want to watch this on a big screen. I mean, like, Paul, Bart, and I, after Suicide Squad on Friday, said we're going to go see House of Gucci together in the cinema with, like, bringing in drinks. That's happening. And it just, it does kind of feel like that, you know, get people in the cinema watching this and just eating it up with a fucking trowel. That is all I want from House of Gucci. I'm looking forward to West Side Story. That looks classy. It looks elegant. Ansel Elgort withstanding. But what do I really, really, really want to go to the cinema for at the moment? Things blowing up and House of Gucci.
Yeah. Violence and trash.
And, as Mark and I are going to do on Saturday, a film based on a Twitter thread.
I'm all right. I'm actually quite looking forward to it.
So am I.
I know nothing about it.
I've seen the trailer once. I'm reading nothing more. So.
I go see that Friday night. Oh, it's not on Friday night. It's on Thursday.
Well, so you've got the unlimited screening that it's not showing.
Mm.
Oh, the unlimited screening.
Tomorrow. Dagnammit.
Cineworld's weird. Slight tangent. They've done that a couple times recently.
Yeah.
Like, just, we'll show it this once for unlimited members, but not actually give it a release. Like, what the fuck's that about?
Mm.
And like all these secret screenings they're doing.
Yeah, there's one coming up next week, isn't there?
We're off to that.
I'm trying to think of what that might be. I kind of wonder whether it might be Free Guy.
It could be.
Like a day before it releases.
Yeah, they've unlimited screenings recently. A day before the release.
It's a few days before, isn't it?
Wednesday's the screening, isn't it? I think.
So it's a couple of days before. It's just like,
yeah.
Disney have done unlimited screenings before, and it feels like one where if they're trying to build up, like, they know that it's reviewing well and they want to build up some word of mouth for it. And also the fact that secret screening is available to non-unlimited people as well make me think that it probably is going to be something relatively big.
Yeah, it's an odd one that it's not an unlimited screening. It's just a secret screening that anyone can apply for.
Yeah.
What if we get in there though and it's something like really big, and we're just like, I'm not emotionally prepared for this movie right now.
Think of what else it could be.
No, I mean, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, can you fucking imagine? Jesus Christ.
It's all right, Bond doesn't exist, Ian.
Fuck off.
What if it's like right random, like really just like fucking really random, like it's the fucking latest Bollywood incarnation of Fast and Furious 7.
It's nice. It's gotta be just the fact that it's not unlimited. It's not just unlimited members makes me think that it's going to be something big and mainstream.
It's got to be something big enough so that loads of people aren't going to, when it starts, go, fuck this, and walk straight out.
Yeah. But, like, what's out the week after? There's a lot out the week after, if I remember correctly. Like, it's weirdly stacked.
But it's also, I'm fairly certain that the screening is a 12A.
So it's a 12A or lower in that case. If they're literally saying it's a 12, it's not like unlimited where you've got to be a certain age to actually have the pass. It's like if they're selling it to everybody. So Free Guy remains in the running.
It's got no rating on it. It says TBC.
My only thing there is, if anyone can buy it, you're not going to have a 12-year-old being able to get a ticket for a secret screening, and it turns out it's a 15.
Yeah. But it's not me Snake Eyes, because that's got a unlimited,
already
like,
got one.
3 days
Yeah.
later. Yeah, Free Guy. I think you could be right on that one.
But now, it's not going to be People Don't Do in Japan. It's not.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not Hotel Transylvania.
I mean, no, Pig's going to be a 15, surely. I mean, you've got Reminiscence. Yeah, because the week after is Pig, Reminiscence, and The Night House. I thought it was literally the only stream release that is less than a 15 in August is Free Guy.
Yeah, it's going to be Free Guy, isn't it?
This is going on Friday.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
We're there Tuesday and Wednesday next week, aren't we already?
Are we?
Got to see The Nest on Tuesday.
Oh, of course we are, yeah. Of course we are.
A bleak condemnation of marriage, it would appear. Nice.
I'm down.
Good, though. I think that's the Martha Marcy May Marlon Durkin. It is.
It is, yeah.
That'd be good. Okay, so Inside Baseball. I think I might go to that in limits. If it's Free Guy, just go. What? Don't Breathe 2 is my birthday film. Fucking hell. Yeah. Anyway, is directed by Jaime Colette Serra and stars Captain Merchandise, Emily Blunt, CG Edgar and hey, Giamatti.
Yep.
And Jesse Plemons is in it as well, doing a German accent. Hello, I am Jesse Plemons. No.
You went full blown Welsh then.
Hello. Hello, is it? I'm Jesse Plemons. So, John, based on the iconic theme that Dwayne Johnson has been wanting to make a film based on since he went to see Pirates of the Caribbean in the cinema.
Lifelong dream.
Lifelong dream. Absolutely. He is 18 years old. And he saw it. He saw it in the womb.
Fuck, his Pirates? 18 years old? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, death is coming for us all.
It's just off.
So, Jungle Cruise is about Emily Blunt and Jack Whitehall's characters, whose names escape me, who want to find a tree, a fabled tree, that may hold key to everlasting life, I think.
Yeah.
They go to the jungle and they engage the services of Frank, played by Dwayne Johnson, a jungle cruise operator who has a secret, and he kind of falls for Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt kind of falls for him. There's a bunch of CG stuff in the second half. Becky, you may tell from my unenthused reading of the plot summary there that Jungle Cruise for me is the most 3 out of 5 film ever made. What are your thoughts as to that statement?
It's disappointing because it could have been good. Pirates of the Caribbean is evidence that you can make a successful movie. Whatever you think of the rest of the franchise, Pirates is great. You can do that. You can make a good film based off of a ride. This just isn't it. It's so it's so fucking contrived. It's so very much wanting to be, what did you say they kept comparing it to, Romance in the Stone?
Yeah.
For me, it was giving off real kind of like Indiana Jones vibes, but then watching it, it's just trying to be the Mummy. It's trying to replicate that that central relationship between Evie, Rick, and Jonathan, down to the fact that you've got the strong guy, the spunky girl, and the weedy brother. Like it's just they're just the same characters, but shitter. Emily Blunt, as you pointed out, isn't half as charming as they think she is. Dwayne Johnson, actually, I didn't hate in this. Like, he's a lot less fucking try hard in this than he is in a lot of his more recent movies. He's a lot less desperate feeling. So that was a bit more manageable, and Jack Whitehall was fine. But you know, if you're trying to do that Mummy dynamic, you're not going to beat it. So the whole film falls down around it. Going again to my main complaint, one of my main complaints about Cruella, just fucking train animals and have them in movies. Why is everything fucking CGI? This film is a CGI vomit nightmare. Yeah. Just not good. Emily Blunt is weak in this. And oh my god, I've got this really good joke, right. So women at the time, right, get this. They didn't wear pants. They wore like skirts and stuff. So what we're gonna do, right, is gonna have everyone really shocked about the fact that she's wearing trousers or pants, as Americans call them.
What?
And then they're just all gonna respond. I know, right? It's gonna be crazy, and they're all gonna just like be really shocked about it and reference it all the time. And then Dwayne Johnson's character is just gonna call her pants the whole way through the movie. Everyone is gonna be in hysterics, like rolling in the aisles. Not anywhere near as funny as they thought it was.
It was passably funny the first time, and then gradually, the more it went on, I found myself wanting to shout at the screen, "Write a different joke!"
Yeah, it really bugged me. Really bugged me all the way through the film. From after the first joke, which I think was when Jack Whitehall references it when they got off the boat and goes, "Told you shouldn't have worn pants, shouldn't have worn trousers."
Yeah.
Okay, passably funny. Rest of it, no. Fuck off, Jungle Cruise.
Mark, fuck off, Jungle Cruise is a provocative statement. Your comments?
The thing is, it's when it first got announced when it was coming out, it was like 2 hours 37 minutes.
I think that was just IMDb acting on duff information.
But then when it came out, it was 2 hours 7 minutes. But it does feel like there's 30 minutes missing. Because literally at one point, I think you referenced this when we watched the movie, Becky, it's like they went, right, this movie is called Jungle Cruise. The movie is literally called Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they go, right, we don't actually want to take you on the Jungle Cruise. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a map, we're going to lift you up, and we're going to basically go, thunk, and there you go. You have Jungle Cruised. And it was a bit like that. I really enjoyed The Rock in the first 2/3 of this movie. Him constantly telling bad jokes had me laughing an awful lot. And then when they get captured and he tells another bad joke and Emily Blunt's character says, "Really, is this a time?" He's like, "You just can't turn it off." It felt a little. I felt that bit spoke to me a little bit.
Did you feel seen?
I felt seen with that. So I really quite liked his character, and I was having an awful lot of fun with it. And then he stopped being fun for the last the third act.
So what you're saying is once he revealed his pain and his
anguish, that I don't give a shit about that. Why couldn't he just been a fun Jungle Cruise captain?
Fun guy.
Yeah. again, yes, I agree. Emily Blunt was the opposite. She'd never built up enough charm.
She didn't have enough cash in the bank to be as much of a dickhead as she was.
To be that. She was quite unpleasant. She stole the thing at the first bit. She then is trying to break into Paul Giamatti's thing because he doesn't want to talk to her at the time. She doesn't know that that's not him. So she's trying to do business with him by trying to just burst into his office. And she just comes across as a bit of an arsehole. But then the opposite happens when The Rock stops being charming, she starts to become a little bit more charming. Jack Whitehall's really good in this.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, he's not like shit. I am surprised when we watched. Oh God, what was the movie that James Corden was in with Meryl Streep?
Oh, The Prom.
The Prom, yeah. Where James Corden's actually really quite good in that. But yeah, Jack Whitehall in this is fun. He plays with the character really well.
Is he not usually? I feel like you've got an awful lot of hate for Jack Whitehall that I don't share.
No, I don't like him.
Why though? Or do you not like him from
Being Jack Whitehall.
Oh, okay. So just his general self.
Yes.
Okay. Not in anything in particular, just
No,
himself.
just his general reader. But when he's not being Jack Whitehall and he's being an actor, he seems like quite a decent actor. And he wasn't too much. He wasn't constantly trying to pull focus and push people out of the way of the scene and try and do too much. He was very much, I think the fact that he wasn't there as constantly having to be the dance monkey, dance funny boy.
I think the bit where he's sat talking to Dwayne Johnson as well, and he reveals obviously why he's so close with his sister and why he'll do anything for her, and that vulnerable scene actually is quite sweet in that, and it's like,
it worked really quite. Yeah, it worked really quite well. But then, you know, he gets to have the bit where he gets to fight the guys and is perfectly competent at it.
He's good at punching. He's got good form.
Yeah, and you get all of that. But my key problem with it is that you've got one too many villains. You've got two villains that neither get enough screen time, and so you end up with them both kind of crossing over, but neither of them becoming like vaguely threatening or anything like that.
A viable threat, yeah.
And neither of them get built up enough. Like Plemons just is at the start, you think, right, well, he's going to be a villain, but then he disappears for a good half of the movie and isn't there, and then just keeps on cropping up in a submarine.
And I like Jesse Plemons, and he is awful in this.
Because I just don't think he's got enough time to actually do anything fun.
His character is so shit.
Yeah, and then Edgar Ramirez isn't in it like at all, really.
Snaky Man.
Yeah. So it's a movie that you think this should be better, but then you think, but why should it be better?
I for me anyway, I think it should be better because the them actually starting the cruise is fun. You know, it's riffing off of loads of different other films, but I think the initial Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt stuff's quite sparky. I think Paul Giamatti is giving it a good amount of cheese. It's just bright and breezy, and it kind of feels like the 2 hour, 10-minute running time, whatever, is going to be a breeze. And then I got less engaged as it went on. And then that third act, well, I mean, to be honest, everything from the reveal that actually Frank is one of the conquistadors, it just falls off a fucking cliff for me. It gets really, really wrapped up in the story where, you know, you've got two bad guys who are aligned and then not aligned, and then one of them just disappears for like a half hour and then comes back, but you just don't really care why. I mean, the whole aspect of Frank being Edgar Ramirez's like ex-best friend is just not played at all. And it just turns into like Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, like Becky was saying, and it's really like just really weirdly unremarkable. And it's fine. I don't think it's shit, but I don't know. Like you said, Mark, be better. Yeah, it's. And again, it feels like The Rock is like, people need to love me. You know, whether I'm being a badass or whether I'm being a lovable hero, they fucking need to love me. And it's. I want him to do Pain and Gain again. You know, I want him to be something which isn't this fucking focus group tested just whatever that he is in every single one of these fucking films.
Yeah, it has become a little bit like, you'd be surprised if in the next 4 or 5 years he makes a film that is above a 12A.
He's like a corporate robot.
It is. There's no. I think, like you said there, Ian, that's quite spot on. That it's so focus grouped. That it becomes
sanitized to the point of absolute obsolescence.
Yeah. There's not enough fun behind it because you know what you're gonna get. I mean, the only surprise I had in this was that when he picked the guitar, he didn't sing.
Yeah.
It was about the only surprising thing out of it.
I really feel for all the animal trainers out there in Hollywood.
I don't know anymore. They've been replaced by visual effects guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is with at points like this, it's because it's fantastical. I think they get away with it. No. But I think because they think they get away with it because it's fantastical, and that's the idea. But you're watching it, and at no point do you get the idea that any of this is real. You know it's not a real boat. You know it's not a real river. You know it's not a real lily pad. You know it's not a real fucking frog. You know it's not a real jaguar. You know it's not a real any of these things.
It's a real green screen in Georgia.
Yeah, it is. It's that, and you are watching going right. I am getting the. Martin Scorsese said about a year ago, said that that these comic movies and these big budget blockbuster movies are not in a critical way, but said they are theme park rides. And then literally Jungle Cruise comes along, which is a theme park ride, and the movie is a theme park ride. And that's the thing. It's things occasionally popping up, very quick quips that you can catch on the fly as you are floating by it, with no substance and no attempt to do anything. What is it? And everything, including the water and the sea and everything you are sat on, isn't real. And that is the problem. And the problem with that is when everything feels unreal, and when you've got 7 people writing a movie that has really like 4 jokes and 2 villains that have no depth to them and characters that have no real depth to them. It's just, what were you all too busy tapping each other on the back going, this is going to be great, isn't it? This is going to be great, isn't it? Before you actually made something great. You know, there will in all likelihood be a sequel for this, because it doesn't matter how it does at the box office or anything like that, because they can just blame what is it, and they can go, well, next time we're going to have The Rock and he's going to be out there and people are going to fall in love with this character, and it'll be all that, and so you in all likelihood will end up with a sequel for it. And the thing is,
he's wrong out. The
sequel might end up being better because they might go, do you know what? We need to maybe just tweak this a little bit. It's not bad. It's enjoyable enough. But it's just, Jumanji exists. And both Jumanji movies, the Dwayne The Rock Johnson Jumanji movies, were better than this. by a considerable distance.
I think you actually felt like they were actually where they were meant to be. Like, maybe not in Jumanji, but in a fucking field,
Yeah,
at least.
It felt like that. Whereas, like you say, this feels like they travelled the length of the Amazon, but it feels like they probably didn't move more than 200 yards throughout the entire filming of this movie.
Yeah.
And you viscerally feel that.
Yeah, you do. No, there's a reason why the films that it's trying to emulate are more successful. And I said to you, like, they're obviously going for like a whole mummy kind of situation. And yeah, there's that whole bit of the CGI with the sandstorm in the mummy. But at least like on the other bits, it actually feels like maybe they are actually stood in sand and maybe they have travelled to some kind of location. Same with the Indiana Jones movies and same with Romance in the Stone.
Well, can I also bring up one other bit on it? James Newton Howard's score's a bit all over the place, isn't it?
I didn't notice.
I can't say I really noticed it, but
at one point I was going, it's very John Williams-y. I know it's not John Williams, but it feels very John Williams-y. And then all of a sudden it's like heavy guitars, and I'm going,
oh yeah, no, maybe I didn't notice that.
This is very...
You mean James Newton Howard teaming up with Metallica for
Yeah.
a random orchestral version of Nothing Else Matters?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I noticed that. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, and it's completely incongruous to the orchestral kind of very fitting score that you had previous to it. And it just, I'm not completely saying it was bad, but it was just, it speaks of this film that it's literally, it's trying to tick off as many things as it can.
It's like someone programmed into a computer all the bits they wanted in and then just whatever spit out.
Like literally at the end of it, they went, oh, fuck, what? We forgot to have a little kid that's his mate in it. And they're going, oh, shit, we did. Is there a point where we can just film a little kid running around that's his mate? And then just have him, like, before they go on the cruise and after they get back from the cruise. And then everyone will just think that he was on the cruise all the time.
Yeah.
It is most passive aggressively definitely not shit of all time for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely shit, 'cause I can't say it's not shit. I don't think I'm touching cloth because I enjoyed my time enough with it. It's just there will never be a moment where I will think, watch Jungle Cruise again, without another 7 or 8 movies coming into my mind that I will watch instead.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, for me.
Is it? That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but
I was ticking between definitely not and touching cloth, but the more I think about it, the more it is just shit. It's a poorly made film.
Well, our audience poll, definitely not shit 18%, touching cloth 27%, shit 36%, and Geostorm 19%.
that's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. It could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
The Mulberry Boys every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop fast. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek,
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely. That doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Pencil as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
Right. Let's do some what we've been watching, shall we? Guys,
Becky's
what's on
just
the
got the bathroom,
docket?
so she'll be down in a second.
Okay.
She's got loads.
Okay, yar. Yar. He doesn't have a low voice as Captain Jack Sparrow, so I
Not
don't know
really.
why. No. All right, no, I don't know why.
So Scott Adkins is going to be in John Wick 4.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's just put on his Instagram a picture of a director's chair saying John Wick 4.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty fucking cool. That
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense.
No, it does. Oh, that's great.
I like the fact that guy is essentially just like, he's very much the Jean-Claude Van Damme of his time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, good for him. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Honoured and privileged to be invited by director Chad Stahelski into the John Wick franchise, with my humble opinion happens to be the best action franchise there is. Let's go.
I bet he's fucking saying that now he's got a role in it.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's good times.
It is. He's one of those where he seems like a good dude.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try and look that up. Oh, sweet. Yeah, there it is. It was about time, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, you kind of going, hang on a minute, wasn't he one of the other ones?
Yeah, quite.
But yeah, he was in. I am right in thinking he was in Doctor Strange, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's going to get one of those ones who crops up in so many. He's going to end up being in one of like the DCU movies somehow as something. And he's one of those who's just been in a load of different franchises without ever actually properly starring in one.
His Instagram's great. Just a random picture of him with Donnie Yen. Random picture of him with Jamie fucking Foxx.
He very much seems like the guy who actually runs his own Instagram.
Yeah.
It's back in the room, mate, Bex.
Yeah.
Yep. We can do what we're watching.
Oh, okay. Are we going first?
Well, you can, because you've got bajillions
I got bajillions.
in comparison to me. You do.
Okay. Okay. So, I on my own watched Ghostbusters 2016 because obviously the new trailer came out and I was like, do you know, I've not watched in a long while. Girl Ghostbusters. I watched it. It's very good.
Does it still hold up?
Do you know what? It really does. I think more so watching it without all the fucking swirling shite that was around it when it came out. Not literal shite. Although it is a Ghostbusters movie, so there is a lot of swirling stuff.
So yes, probably some feces there.
Isabel was very disappointed that the dance scene bit that's kind of started but never actually happens apart from a little bit in the credits. You know, when Chris Hemsworth's like manipulating everybody to get into like a pose to dance, but then the dance never happens.
Yeah.
That kind of happens over the credits a little bit.
Yeah.
Isabel very much enjoyed Chris Hemsworth, so obviously she is a human.
The second best Chris.
Yeah, I think he probably is second best, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Really, really enjoyed it on rewatch. I then watched The Final Girls, which I really fucking love. The Final Girls.
I've seen The Final Girls 3 times, and that is exactly the amount of times a person should watch The Final Girls.
It's just very clever, and it's fun, and it's sweet, and it's charming, and it's got like some gross bits in it. It's exactly what a horror comedy should kind of be a little bit. It's got heart, but it's still funny, and it's great. I really like it. And then onto an entirely different kind of horror comedy. Watched Cooties.
Nice.
Which does not have an awful lot of heart and is very gross. Very, very gross.
Yes, it's very trauma-y, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, very good, funny enough, decent leads. Yeah. It's a recommend, but I wouldn't maybe watch it while you were eating your dinner or something.
No, I won't watch while you're eating your dinner.
And then I watched in anticipation of watching The Suicide Squad, even though it doesn't directly follow on. I watched Suicide Squad, despite the fact that we've actually watched it not too long ago.
Yep.
But I wanted to rewatch it.
That's fine.
Stop fucking judging me.
Do as you will.
I did.
Go on then.
Yeah, well the thing is, it's a weird one because I watched everything except for the last maybe half hour of Suicide Squad before we went to see The Suicide Squad, and was watching it when you came down and went, right, we're off to the cinema.
Yeah, you were.
And then watched the remainder when we got back, and it's very stark, the difference in quality. Incredibly stark.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Did you like your rewatch of Suicide Squad?
I did actually. I don't mind Suicide Squad. It's not great, and it's obviously been
hacked to pieces.
To shit, yeah. I don't think Cara Delevingne's very good in it. I don't think she's a good baddie. But I like the kind of the actual Suicide Squad themselves and their dynamic. I like, so it kind of carries it through. I did film the bit where Will Smith does the whole. So what do we just some kind of Suicide Squad off the TV and send it to you, didn't I?
Yes. For some reason you find that really amusing, and you know that it annoys the shit out of me.
I do know that it annoys the shit out of you. But yeah, it's fine. It's just not great, and it's not what it should have been. But as a foundation stone for things that came after and the setting up of the characters, not that many of them carry through.
Yeah.
But, like Harley, it works fine. But it is odd though. Again, like I know we'll talk about this more, but like costuming for Harley Quinn is very different in both Birds of Prey and The Suicide Squad. Like her costume in this is just pure fucking. It's just incredibly inappropriate. Whereas in the other two, it's very much more practical stuff. It is.
Is it?
Yeah, she's got like a utility kind of suit type thing. Yes, there is that whole bit in the ball gown, but that is for a reason. There is like story-based reasoning.
Costume though.
Yeah, but they send her out on the mission wearing like a gear.
Okay.
And then in Birds of Prey, it's just very highly sexualized in Suicide Squad. So then I watched Birds of Prey, which is it's just great fun. It's Birds of Prey. I really, really like it. Not so much on this watch as I did on my previous watch, but the breakfast sandwich bit still makes me laugh every time. The fact that they used that shot in the fucking trailer and it's like he used it as some awful thing happened and it was just that she dropped a sandwich.
Yeah, it's great.
You just got
It
really
was
admire that.
fantastic, yeah.
And the fact that what's her name, Posey Juarez, gets saved from getting shot because she's wearing like a corset and it ends up being bulletproof because it's got like the bone in it. It's just very good. Very good. And then did I watch anything else on my own? Oh, I watched Moon because I thought, do you know what today needs? Bit of like depressing shit.
Yeah. Basically an existential crisis of a movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it was good though.
it is a fantastic movie, yeah.
Yeah. It was depressing though.
It is incredibly bleak.
Yeah, the cheapness and disposability of life.
Yep.
But really good though.
But very good, yes.
Really, really good central performance in that. And you can kind of ignore the fact that it's Kevin Spacey because he's just a voice.
Oh, of course, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Is that all your
That's all mine on my own.
your
Yeah.
solos?
Mhm.
So I think one of what we watched together, Ian, I think you've watched it as well.
Yes.
But we also watched the sequel to that movie as well.
Oh, I didn't do that.
What I will say here, Ian, is you don't need to.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So basically, we'll do this, then we'll do the other one we watched, and then we'll go to Ian, but we'll cross over with doing Romancing in the Stone with Ian.
Okay.
And they can kind
have
of
a sequel before the.
we're gonna and they can have like your listeners can have like a freebie retro review that won't be like a big retro review.
No, do you know? No, fuck it. No. Do you know what? I'll say, if people really want my thoughts on it, go over to Vodzilla. Go support Vodzilla. I did a review of Romancing the Stone for Vodzilla, which got very, very judiciously edited. And my thanks to Ivan for that.
And were you a fan of Romancing the Stone? It was your first watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really, 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 really liked Romancing the Stone. I thought it was fantastic. But
Yeah.
Go read my less Jungle Cruise talk than it was originally review on Vodzilla.
So we'll do Romancing the Stone now then.
Okay.
We watch Romancing the Stone quite a lot, don't we, Vex?
It's in our regular rotation.
It's in our regular rotation.
Mm.
It's kind of one of our pick-me-up movies, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
a hug of a movie.
It's a big hug of a movie, yeah. I've had a lot of affection for this movie since I saw it on like one of those like kids club things
At the cinema.
at the cinema.
Where'd you
Yeah,
go?
on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was the kind of random stuff you got was like Romancing the Stone, and then like the next day was Jewel of the Nile.
Wow.
So
What a couple of banner days for Mark.
it was a couple of bad days, summer holidays with Mark, while everyone else's nice families were away on holiday together, and he's cycling to the cinema at 10 in the morning. I had a fucking great time watching Romancing the Stone. But it's Kathleen Turner being adorable and charming. It's Michael Douglas being dashing, but also a little bit like
Bit of a rogue.
but also almost teetering on Jack Burton-esque of things just kind of working out without it seeming like it should do esque for him there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that, and their chemistry together is really good.
Yeah.
And then Robert Zemeckis is very good at doing this kind of thing as a director. And Danny DeVito
Video's great, isn't it?
being the comic relief really works really, really well.
He's a really bad baddie.
It's a terrible baddie. But then you've got great bits like the bit where his cousin.
Or that he's working with.
Yeah.
I think so.
Where they're going, where they're jumping on the boat to go to the little boat to go to the big boat.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just wait for me? It's like, we're going to
Come
send the
back.
boat back.
Yeah.
When? Soon. How soon? Really soon. And it just doesn't send the boat back.
Yeah, it does on the boat.
And I like his obsession with alligators throughout the entire thing.
What it does really well though is it does. There is peril. There is stuff like there is bits where you're scared for them. The bits with the alligators and stuff like that. They are in danger. It's not completely toothless.
No, and it plays very well on the fact that that essentially the idea is that she accidentally gets transported into one of her novels.
Yeah.
And that's what works really well. And the reason why it doesn't work as well in Jewel of the Nile is it's a different director. It's from the guy who made Cujo and Navy Seals.
Right.
Not
as much with the whimsy then.
So yeah, but the problem is as well, I think Romancing the Stone cost about $12 million, and Jewel of the Nile has double the budget and like half of the charm.
I feel like it just takes itself a bit too seriously.
Well, there's a bit where they're having a bit of a chase scene, but they're in a fighter jet, but they're not flying, and you watch it going, this has gone on for way too long. So yeah, Jewel of the Nile, Romance of Stone is every bit as good as its classic status suggests, and Jewel of the Nile is proof that throwing more money at something doesn't make it better.
The central kind of relationship between them and stuff still kind of carries it along.
It's entertaining enough,
bobbles along happily enough, doesn't it? Yeah.
But what I would say is you don't really need to. If you've seen and enjoyed Romancing the Stone, maybe don't rush out and watch Jewel now, because it's just you don't need to. Just watch Romancing the Stone again.
Yeah. The Mummy.
Or The Mummy.
Always the answer is always The Mummy.
And we also watched Summer of Stål, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. Questlove's documentary film about the Harlem Cultural Festival that was held over 5 weeks, I believe, in 1969 in Harlem. And it's very good, isn't it?
It is actually, yeah. Like for a sort of a style of music and a festival that I knew nothing about, there was enough exposition-y stuff in there, an explanation for what's going on and the impact that it had, and the impact that preceding events had on the festival to make it accessible. Which I think when we've watched other documentaries in the past, like the Beastie Boys one, for example, it's a bit kind of gate kept. If you don't already know enough, you're not going to enjoy it, whereas this wasn't like that.
Well, there's very much, the whole central premise for it, I don't want to go into too much, it's a documentary and it's pretty brand new, so I don't want to go all spoilers on it. The idea is that the Harlem Culture Festival was professionally filmed, and then
it was the same summer as Woodstock.
But then nothing was done with it. Nothing was done with any of the filming of it. It just got essentially quite literally canned.
The footage is amazing as well.
And the footage is has been properly upscaled, and it's been so it's not, and it's not taken from like people's shooting of it on like Super 8 cameras or anything like that. This is a professionally filmed for television that they have redone and remastered everything, and it's a mixture of talking about the politics of the time, but all of the vast majority of the talking heads are people who were at the festival.
Yeah,
you've got a couple of celebrity faces, but they don't come till the very end when they're talking about the impact of it. The majority of it is just people who were there, but they're showing them the footage and they're going, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
And some of the performers are watching the footage of themselves and going, I haven't seen this before.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's mad. And they're talking about like some of the performers and why they were picked and how they got on there. And it's very much not trying to tell anybody off.
Oh, no.
But it's basically saying that this is why this was important. You've got all these people's, the community of Harlem was going through an awful lot there. The black community of America was going through an awful lot there because everybody who seemed like they could get them out of something kept getting fucking assassinated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very good, but it's not, again, to use a good Ianism, it's not eat your vegetables at all.
No.
It's an awful lot of fun as well. And I don't think you need to know that much about the music to have appreciated it.
Absolutely, yeah, I'd agree there.
It will be an awful lot of, I know this song, I don't know that was the artist that sung it, but I know this fucking song.
For me, it was a lot of, oh my god, this was by them.
Yeah, and there's no problem with that at all. So yeah, that was what we've watched this week.
Yes.
Nice. I've got a few things to go through. So I shall start. Edgar Wright's new documentary, The Sparks Brothers, kind of jumping off of the whole music documentary theme. So this is a 2-hour, 20-minute long look at the pop duo Sparks, who have been around for an insanely long time and are still going. I believe they have a written by credit on the new on Annette, which I mentioned earlier on.
Yes.
They did the music for it. So, and one of the interesting things that I discovered with this is kind of how closely connected to film they are. They were going to make a film with Jacques Tati back in the day, like a Monsieur Hulot film, which they were going to be in. And then in the 90s, they were tapped to basically write a adaptation of a manga, which was going to be directed by Tim Burton. And particularly the older Sparks brother, Ron, really kind of goes into just how much he loves cinema. So it's kind of an interesting thread there. So Sparks are a band that I basically kind of just knew from that "This don't get big enough for the both of us" song, and that's basically it. And it's interesting, Edgar Wright has been very, very, very busy on social media promoting the film, as so he should, and he's been kind of like retweeting and liking a lot of things from people saying that like they watched the film and now all they're just listening to Sparks constantly. And I'm not going to call those people liars, but I would say that this film gave me absolutely no inkling to suddenly go out and listen to a load of Sparks. And I think it's kind of interesting because it almost feels like every single album is different from the other one. So I don't know. It's odd. I can't quite get my head around being so into a band despite their music being so different through the decades. But I'm probably quite close-minded when it comes to music, so that's probably more a me thing. But as a depiction of creative artists who give zero shits what anyone say and just keep on doing them, it's really quite heartwarming. It's uplifting. It's interesting. The talking heads in the film, there is a slight soupçon of, are these people, some of these people maybe just Edgar Wright's mates who kind of liked Sparks, and I think if it means that the film gets seen by more people, then absolutely fair enough. But there's a couple of people who are in it very, very, very briefly, but they are some of the bigger names out of the talking heads, which did give me some pause. But on the inverse of that, Neil Gaiman does a really, really in-depth look at their album covers. And then that's like,
quite interesting.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, that dude is obviously a fan and has really been taking the time to look at this shit, and that's really fun. I suppose it's like I'm more into that than I am Jason Schwartzman going, well, who are these guys? I watched them and I was like, who's this guy with the Hitler mustache? I can't profess to having loved it, but it was obviously made with love by Edgar Wright specifically. And Ron and Russell Mael are really, really interesting guys to hear from. But yeah, I suppose that's it. It did breeze. It felt its runtime, but it felt like its runtime was justified, and it literally goes through excuse me, every single one of their 25 albums, and it doesn't spend as long on some of them as it does on others, but it does go through every single fucking one of them, which is pretty impressive. And yeah, it was good. It was good. It felt like a nice passion project for Edgar Wright to do before he just kind of dives back into making kind of bigger films. And fair play to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I rewatched G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. I really like this film.
I quite like it, actually, yeah.
People shit on it, and it's like, it's G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra.
There is a little bit of what did you expect?
Channing Tatum kind of obviously doesn't want to be there, and he gave an interview to Howard Stern a few years back where he made clear that essentially he was forced into the film, and it's like, oh, was somebody holding your wife by gunpoint, were they, Channing? A little bit, fuck off, mate. But he obviously doesn't want to be there. But Marlon Wayans is having a good time. Dennis Quaid is having a good time. Christopher Eccleston is getting to do really hardcore Scottish, which I bet he enjoyed. And it's silly and it's goofy, but it's directed by Stephen Sommers, so you got some really competently done action sequences. You've got a very, very just cartoony plot, but it's G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, and I don't care. I'll watch Retaliation again before Snake Eyes comes out.
And I always forget that it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays Cobra Commander.
Hell yeah, it is. In this one.
Yeah.
He's fucked off before Retaliation comes out.
He fucks right off before Retaliation comes out.
Yeah, this is the time that Nolan was sniffing around, so it's like he's going to be long gone.
I forgot The Rock was in Retaliation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Channing Tatum's basically killed off in the first 15 minutes or so, and then it's all The Rock all the time.
Yeah, he plays Roadblock, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Willis turns up.
Yeah, Bruce Willis plays the original Joe, apparently.
Yeah. I'm glad. I think I have to fucking watch these.
Weirdly, The Rise of Cobra is on Netflix. Retaliation isn't, which is annoying. Because it was after Rise of Cobra, I was like, I really fancy fucking watching Retaliation now. But it was like, I've got to rent it. I'll wait a week and see if it turns up on a streaming service. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. And, Snake Eyes has got some really middling reviews, but I'm going to go into it with, I am watching Snake Eyes : G.I. Joe Origins. Give me that.
Yeah. That is the movie that I want out of Snake Eyes. I don't want anything profound. I don't want anything new. I want to be just throwaway entertained for 108 minutes.
Yeah. I want the film that G.I. Joe that Snake Eyes : G.I. Joe Origins is.
Yeah.
That is what I want.
Yeah, I'm very much, if I can remember too much of Snake Eyes a month after, I might even be a little bit disappointed.
yeah, totally. A couple more. So I also watched National Treasure. Now, National Treasure, I very much enjoy National Treasure. got a question mark because Mark, I know you're fond of this.
Yeah.
The last scene of the film, is it a very, very oblique? Well, let me just explain it. So, Nicolas Cage has been able to buy a lovely country estate with the proceedings from it. He has received from his 1% of the treasure of the value of the treasure that he asked for. He and Diane Kruger are talking in the garden, and then Diane Kruger is like, "I drew you a map." Nicolas Cage is like, "What of?" And Diane Kruger's basically like, "Well, you're gonna have to come and find out." And then they just go running into the house together. And all I could think was, has Diane Kruger made some sort of complicated puzzle which is basically guiding Nicolas Cage to her fanny?
Yep.
It's like that one off of Friends with the numbers, I reckon.
Yeah.
What a fucking mental way to end a PG-rated Disney film.
But it gets the Mark Trash seal of approval.
But what?
I can get a big stamp that just says sleaze.
Like, I just literally, the credits started and I just paused it and I audibly just went, "What?" And I rewound it and just watched that again.
Yeah, that is what it is. That's my reading of it. That it is some kind of kinky sex game.
It's so fucking weird. And just the fact that, like, he is obviously like, "Oh, that's really exciting. Let's go." And it's almost like he's going to be disappointed when it turns out it's not an actual treasure. I mean, to be fair, there's a case to be made that Diane Kruger's underparts may well be a treasure. So, I mean, who's to say? Baffling fucking ending to a very fun, family-friendly film.
Yeah, the only drawback of it is it's got John Voight in it.
Yeah, but yeah, quite. Yeah, because Christopher Plummer turns up in the fucking start.
Yep.
So this is great. Christopher Plummer's in this. I didn't know that. And then John Voight comes around to dirty up the place.
Yeah.
And then Sean Bean plays a villain, Ian, which resulted in multiple scenes of talking about how Ian is going to steal the Declaration of Independence, which I had a great deal of fun with in our WhatsApp chat yesterday, didn't I, Mark?
You did indeed.
So, yeah, National Treasure. My last one, also starring a person that you really don't want to be in films, but I'd never seen this before. F. Gary Gray's 90s Samuel L. Jackson starring thriller The Negotiator.
Oh, yes.
Also starring Captain Cancelled himself, Kevin Spacey.
A man who keeps on trying to find new ways to cancel himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd never seen The Negotiator before, but it's on Amazon Prime in the UK, and I had a really good time.
Good film.
It's your solid adult-aimed big screen thriller that we're not going to get much of going forward because it's on Netflix. And it probably doesn't have as starry people in it. So, yeah, for those who haven't seen it, story is Samuel L. Jackson plays a very, very talented hostage negotiator who, through shenanigans, is framed for a murder that he didn't commit. And so the hostage negotiator becomes a hostage taker. And Kevin Spacey becomes the negotiator who has to try to get him out of that situation. This time, Paul Giamatti is not going, "Hey, it's me, Paul Giamatti!" Instead, it's 90s character actor Paul Giamatti playing a hoodlum who is in the wrong place at the wrong time and becomes one of the hostages. And yeah, it's just this tense Samuel L. Jackson kicking some ass thriller, which has kind of an overarching plot that you can see coming a mile off, but little intricacies to it that you don't necessarily. And yeah, I was pretty gripped throughout the entire thing, to be honest. It does feel like that one of those they don't make them like this anymore kind of things. You know, it's like about 2 hours 20 minutes long, but it does a runtime. And like I say, Samuel L. Jackson I thought was fucking fantastic in it. And Kevin Spacey doesn't even dirty it up so much because he's definitely not a co-lead. Yeah, is the lead of this film. If them on the poster, that strikes to me as a little bit. We're a few years out of Usual Suspects, and he kind of put him on the poster. Spacey's not even in it for like the first 45. No. So yeah. I had a really good time with this, and it leads in nicely to our retro review, which is a 90s thriller like they don't make anymore. This is Wolfgang Petersen's In the Line of Fire, starring big boy Clint Eastwood, Rene Russo, and a John Malkovich. Some moments he dons some costumes, and yeah, you know, this was in the realm of the American 90s thriller, a grizzled with a solid character supporting cast around him. This is the age of Harrison Ford in his Jack Ryan films. And here is Clint Eastwood, and it does kind of feel like Clint Eastwood in this is playing a who was in a bunch of films prior.
Yeah,
it feels lived in, does this film? So I'm going to start with a question for Mark. Mark,
yes.
On rewatch, were you at all worried that this capsize when John Malkovich turns up in that long-haired get-up across Clint Eastwood, looking really obviously shifty?
The thing is, I know I'd seen it, but it's been a long time since I'd seen this. So when you did mention that you'd watched it, I was very much like, ooh, I've hovered over that for a while. But the fact that it's 2 and a bit hours long and always kind of made me go, maybe not.
Really?
Yeah.
It fucking flies by.
But yeah, there was a little bit. I remember there being more Malkovich and Eastwood sort of together bouncing off each other. And that was when I thought, oh, this has come earlier than I thought. And so I was a little bit like, right, is it with that? But then it goes back into being essentially like the cat and mouse thing with them two, and it works really quite well.
And Becky,
Go on.
how fucking hot did you think the Clint Eastwood, Rene Russo getting down to it scene was? Because I'll be honest, like, the cum was flying everywhere in the Loring household.
But the one where they're dropping guns and stuff everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I found that whole bit a bit gross.
What?
And a bit icky.
Why?
Because he's an awful lot older than her, and it's like it's going back, like it's calmed down a little bit now because filmmakers get called out for it now, and they put a super old male lead with a hot young female love interest, but it just like yeah, all right, pans out in the end, but the kind of the persistence and the lack of accepting that she just wasn't interested was just a bit like, this wouldn't really fly now. Just accept the no and fucking get on with your day. You're old enough to be a grandpa.
But I think that the film does reference that.
It just felt a bit grim to me.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's not, but fair enough.
Not that he's not a very attractive older dude.
And charming as fuck.
and charismatic and charming and all this kind of stuff. And you know what? Young ladies that want to go for older men, whatever floats your fucking boat. But it just felt a bit like he just kept pushing. And she was like, no, I'm not interested.
No, she clearly was.
She was going on a fucking date.
What?
That bit of the Lincoln thing.
That was a fifth one.
It's not like he forces himself on her or anything,
No,
though.
I'm not saying he does. I'm not saying it's like rapey or anything. It just felt a bit like, I don't know, just a bit icky.
I genuinely didn't get that.
That's fine.
Because it's not. But
No, I mean, he is a good deal older than her. Like, that's absolutely, because she's late 30s, early 40s in this?
I would say mid 40s, I think.
And
he's like 90.
He's like mid 60s?
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be a good sort of 20-25 years older than us, sure.
Yeah, so I get what Bex is saying. I think it's relatively tastefully done, but
yeah.
And I'm taking the piss when I talk about cum flying around all over. Just like the fact that, like, how do they depict them getting down to it? Just all the shit they're taking off, and it almost became like a scene from Hot Shots for me, where like next to like he was going to be dropping like a baguette and she was going to be dropping like a toaster, and like
yeah.
There's so much shit that they're fucking dropping.
And then when she gets a telephone call and she goes up into the bathroom and she's just gathering all of her stuff off the floor to take into the bathroom. He's just laid there and got like, I've got to pull that back on now.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know, it's odd, but no, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. This, I think, was one of the films that I basically stuck on my fucking iPod or iPhone or whatever back in the day when I used to work in the projection booth. And when I didn't have a print to preview at like midnight, just waiting for the films to run their course, I'd just stick a film on my phone and watch it. And I got through a lot of content over those few years that way. And In the Line of Fire was definitely one of those. So now watching it kind of like on a bigger screen and whatnot, it was just like, this is solid as fuck. You know, it spends a good amount of time just showing how charismatic but how kind of like damaged Clint's character is. And yeah, I've obviously I've got a lot of problems with latter day Clint and like how his politics infects his filmmaking. But for a purely star turn in this, it's A game shit. It really is.
I mean, Clint Eastwood at this point, you know, even being Clint Eastwood in his mid-60s, was the biggest movie star in the world around about this point. You know, he was having consistent this. I mean, this was, you know, I mean, was Unforgiven the year before, the year after? You know, he was...
Year before, I want to say.
Yeah, there was a new, like, big Clint movie coming out like literally every year. So, you know, there was, it was year before, it was 92 was Unforgiven. So yeah, it was, now it'd be weird to have like essentially, again, the 90s were a great time for action thrillers.
Yeah.
And for, you know, conspiracy thrillers or these kind of movies that were then, you know, we've watched a bunch from this year, haven't we, Vex? And I mean, you look at it in, you know, Clint had Unforgiven. In this year, he had In Line of Fire and A Perfect World both came out. And then, you know, Bridge of Madison County the year afterwards, and then, you know, Absolute Power and like True Kind Space Cowboys and stuff like that. He was still churning out movies that were making an awful lot at the box office.
And it's, you know, it's a great movie. I think it deals with like the ageism of it very well as well, like how he's disregarded by the younger whippersnappers that he once was, and his experience is kind of skimmed over and he ends up being right. I think it's good.
Yeah. And the whole what is Malkovich actually up to thing, I thought was really well played as well. And more so in a way where it kind of cuts back to him doing mysterious shit quite a lot. And then the resolution is, oh no, he was just posting those checks so that he could get a good seat at dinner. And he's building that gun just so he can get through security. Like, it's not necessarily like the revelations are that surprising or anything, but just the level at which it goes back to him. And that fucking extraordinary scene where he basically goes to get rid of any fucking evidence and whatnot and kills that bank teller woman. Where
Mark was slandering that dog as well. He's a shit guard dog, isn't he? He's on a fucking leash, Mark.
He didn't try hard enough, did he?
I mean, he couldn't do out.
Didn't try hard enough.
Where's that dog come from? It's come through the doggy door. What's a doggy door?
Yeah,
I had to explain the whole concept of doggy doors.
You're just asking to get murdered if you've got a door that is big enough for a big old fucking dog to get through it.
Yeah.
But just the whole kind of like happenstance of she was also born in Missouri or Minneapolis or wherever it was.
Yeah.
You know, and like that cruel twist of fate thing. It's fucking brutal. And I mean, like it just, again, linking back to Don't Breathe, for me it's on that level, as if in The Line of Fire 2 it turned out that he's not actually dead, and this time Malkovich is the hero.
Yeah, I mean, there's even the bit where he's testing out the, what is it?
And he shoots those guys.
And the guys come over and he's like, and he goes, he just shoots him because he shot a duck.
Yeah.
But he's always going to shoot them because he was there. But it's just the callous way that he's like, just kind of sat shooting his homemade gun. These two guys come over, there's a chat with him, and the minute they get over there, there's not like a, oh shit, I'm gonna have to kill these guys. What is it? He's very much like, yeah, you can have a go at my gun. Of course you can. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. I've only got to kill you now. Why? Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, you mentioned this, didn't you, Bex? With Malkovich, I don't think Malkovich is one of those people who's always good in things. I think he has a capacity to be too much. But he's always going to be, if Malkovich turns up in something, you go, oh, okay, this is going to be at least interesting.
Yeah.
You know, he's always...
Oh, this is that kind of film.
Yeah, he's always doing something.
Yeah.
And I think he's actually very good in this. And this was the bit that this was the film that kind of made him a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he always wanted to be kind of the other person in something. He's never wanted to be a lead in things. He's always wanted to be one or two steps down.
Yeah.
For that, he's very much a character actor by choice. From this, but it's just a really solid, entertaining film.
It is, yeah. It's not fucking changing the world or anything, but it's doing what it does very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our audience, I mean, I've definitely not shit on it. It's
God,
really,
definitely not shit.
It's a really good watch. And our audience poll, definitely not shit, 80%.
Boom.
And shit, 20%.
Auckland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, now we talk about the retro review for not next week's show, but the week after, where patrons are able to vote on it. So, we will be picking a film each to put up for vote, and the patrons get to vote. My film for nomination is Blade. What's Mark's?
I've gone for Of Gods and Monsters. because we spoke about it briefly earlier, and it's a really good film, to be honest.
I would quite like to watch it, but I'd quite like to watch Blade as well. Becky.
Also, about Gods Monsters, I believe Brendan Fraser got nominated for a Golden Globe for it.
Nice.
That sounds right.
And it's very much, it's not a Brendan Fraser performance that you'd expect coming from that era of Brendan Fraser, and he's very, very good in it.
Cool.
Sweet.
What's yours, Bex?
I'm going to lighten stuff up a bit.
Oh, yeah, go on.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Laputa Castle in the Sky.
Fair enough.
Oh, shit. Cool. Okay.
Get into the environmental implications of shit.
Okay. So, it is Blade, it is Gods and Monsters, and it is Laputa Castle in the Sky. A poll will be going up on Patreon around the same time as this episode. If you want to have your say and you're not a patron, patreon.com/filmbastards, and we will be reviewing that on the show, not make the week after. So, that'll do it for this week's show.
Oh, we've got questions.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Of course we do, Mark. Yes, quick total question.
TGB73, the Jim Prince. If the hosts were to take part in an Olympic sport, which one would they be most likely to get a medal in?
Are we going like serious answers on this?
You can do. You can go whichever way you want. Because yours will be one of the equestrian ones, won't it?
Yeah, because country or show jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horsey shit. Not horsey dancing though. Although I was quite good at that, but it's very disciplined and I can't be bothered with that. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life anymore.
Yeah, it does seem very disciplined.
Horse dancing's fun though.
And
Also known as dressage.
And what would be our joke one?
I don't know. I haven't thought of a joke one.
Ian, do you have a serious one and a joke one?
I just need to check something about Olympic sports.
You check it to see if that what you're about to say is actually an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
And like surfing and sharing it this year, aren't they?
Good. We should be.
Absolutely.
You know.
I was gonna say, I hope that's not the answer you think I'm giving.
What's yours?
One that I would actually be quite good in.
Go on.
Karate, because I was actually very good at karate and did actually compete.
But you're made of brittle sticks now, man.
And then I'm in a brittle sticks now, yes. But I did actually compete for Britain at junior levels in karate. So
was that back before you turned your kneecap inside out?
It was back before I turned my kneecap inside out, yes.
Well done.
Before I lost all my cartilage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that and came third in under 13s for Britain.
Wow. Oh,
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Have you got a joke on? I think horsey shit should be a joke one.
No, Christ no. I came third because I got disqualified in the semi-final.
Oh,
Elbowing somebody in the face.
I don't think that's allowed.
It's not allowed, not at all. It was an accident, kind of. I could have got my elbow out of the way, but I didn't, is what I would say there.
Fair enough.
But I didn't physically elbow the guy in the face. I just didn't move my elbow when his face was moving towards my elbow, and I probably should have.
I mean, on him?
Well, that was kind of my argument. But technically, it still counts as a disqualification. To be fair, I wouldn't have won, and I don't think I've actually won the semi-final either.
Oh, okay.
So but I was very happy with the fact that I got third.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Ian?
Serious answer, rugby. Joke answer, artistic swimming.
I think you could. Yeah, I'd watch the shit out of that. My joke answer is javelin. Another crazy story of a javelin. I competed for Yorkshire at the games at like the the schools games.
Yeah.
In javelin.
Okay.
I was shit at javelin.
You have no depth perception 'cause one of your eyes
It's
doesn't
just that when you did the qualifiers, they did them in schools, and so basically you did like a load of events, and you got to pick a few events that you could do. And I picked javelin because I didn't really care about any of these things because I liked football, and football wasn't one of them. And so I threw 2 javelins just through it 3 times. I did my first 2 heats and did terrible in them, and then threw one that went the furthest, and it was a pure fluke, like completely. My form was terrible. Yeah, I still got picked to go at the games thing, and I was shit
Yeah.
because I couldn't throw a javelin at all. I got lucky once.
Do you know what I was really good at sports day?
What?
The egg and spoon race.
That's not a real thing.
I mean, it is a real thing. It's not a thing in the Olympics.
I was
should
terrible at
be.
it because of my hyper competitiveness around of that time, and I would literally just shake people's arms until they dropped it.
So you should be really good at egg and spoon race. You've got a very low centre of gravity because of your very short legs and long torso.
I do, yes, have a very low centre of gravity because of my wicked long torso. Rick Kidd at Rick J Kidd. Well, you're actually like 6 inches shorter than me, and your legs are longer than mine somehow.
It's weird.
After the Suicide Squad, what are you more eager to see James Gunn do next? Another Guardians of the Galaxy film, another Suicide Squad film, or something else? If so, what?
Could be a little bit controversial here, perhaps. James Gunn seems very, very happy in the worlds in which he is in at the moment, and I'll be honest, not a massive fan of his horror output. Kind of happy for him to keep on earning some fucking fat paychecks making comic book movies.
Well,
if this seems to be what he wants to do, so him do him, I'll watch him.
Well, I'm going to actually agree with you on that as well. I would much rather see James Gunn. I enjoyed Super enough. I wasn't that big a fan of Slither. I would be very happy to watch another Guardians film or another Suicide Squad film, or if he was to do something else a little bit out there. But I do like the fact that I mean, very quick, I won't get into it, but the Suicide Squad, I like the fact that we got a $200 million trauma movie. More into that when we speak about it next week. But also, I think when he's got a big old box of toys to play with, it's better. He's a very much every penny is on the screen kind of director, and I think he can both work within his own mind and within what the studio want. He can get those both out there quite nicely. He can temper himself down so his comedy is relevant. I mean, this is the guy who wrote the Scooby-Doo movie. So he can temper his comedy and his output to whatever kind of cert he's been allowed to work with. It's why Guardians is just as enjoyable as, again, spoiler alert, the Suicide Squad, as the Suicide Squad. And one's an R and one's PG-13.
Suicide Squad's 15.
R in America. So yeah, so I'd prefer Steve Sticken doing that.
If we're choosing between Guardians of the Galaxy and more Suicide Squad movies, I would lean more towards the Suicide Squad movies because I just enjoy violence.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
And there's less Chris Pratt.
Also fair.
Unless he brings him along with it.
Fuck that, no. Unless he gets him killed off as one of the members of the Suicide Squad, I would watch that.
Yeah, if there's a Suicide Squad member that is like called like the fucking like the pastor or something like that.
God, yeah, and he's just a real bad dickhead trying to like gay convert people, and then he gets like killed. Amazing, that would be great.
Anyway,
nice.
But yeah, that was our questions. Great questions this week. Like genuinely, really fucking good questions this week.
Yeah, nice one, guys. Okay, so coming up on next week's show, as we said earlier on, it's going to be a mainly live in-person recording where we will be talking the Suicide Squad. At least Mark and I will be talking about the film based on a Twitter thread, Zola, and God knows what else.
Yeah,
just God knows.
Fucking ramblings, probably.
It's gonna be one of those shows.
Yeah, it's.
We have a geek off.
I think
the Geek Off, I'd say, would probably be on the Pod Syndicate bonus feed.
Yes, I would say so, possibly. Unless we try and just hijack it.
I think that would be unfair.
No, it's the bastard's way. Yeah, it'll be on the bonus feed because there's other podcasts involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will do it for this week. Did all the preamble earlier on. So I'm going to get the fuck out of your ears. Mark, get the fuck out of their ears, please.
With great delight. And I have left a big old mess.
Becky, I cannot stress how much you need to get the fuck out of their ears.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, and me, I mean, nobody wanted me hosting it anyway, so I think I just need to say bye. I'll fuck off out of your ears, and please reinsert us into your holes next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.